Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video of the Azimuth. Today I kinda want to discuss a problem. And because people are scared about Greg bringing back the 3090. And I'm not going to name those people because there's a lot of people, but I'm not going to name them. I don't want to do that. And yeah, some of them are my subscribers, and they said if he brings back the 3090, will he nerf it? I couldn't really give a clear answer, but I said the chance of him bringing back a nerfed version of the 3090 is quite high, because for some bizarre reason people are saying that it's completely and utterly broken. But people who used to play this game when the 3090 was still on sale, it was horrifically overpowered. It had something like a 32-second reload. I think it was quicker than that actually. I think it was like a 30 second, 29-second reload. And then of course Greg nerfed it, gave it the reload that it has right now. But a lot of people are saying if it's brought back, will it be nerfed? I couldn't really give like I said, I couldn't really give a clear answer, but my insight onto it is that it looks like he may actually nerf it to the point where nobody's going to get it, because it will be a waste of gold. He may nerf it so badly that it may have a reload longer than a minute, and the AMX 5100 has a reload about as long as about 53 seconds. I haven't really counted its reload yet, so there's that. But yeah, basically, what do you do? Do you bring back a heavily nerfed version of the 3090 into the stores, or do you keep it away from the stores and keep the the 3090 right now? And then there's a problem with 1375. It's not really a problem. It's a light buff. It is. It's a light buff. And to be honest, it definitely makes the vehicle a lot more flexible. So 1375 is definitely a welcomed buff. And then this tank is going to be removed forever. It's going to be completely and utterly removed, and it's going to be replaced by some kind of tank. I think it's called the M4A4 FL10 or the M4 something. I'm not entirely sure, but it's going to be another FL10 variant that's going to replace the M4A1. And the M4A1, I have no idea. I don't know why it's been removed or something like that. I mean, if some idiot has said, "Oh, it's overpowered, so it needs to be removed," and Greg has gone along with that, then I have no power in this. Okay, I can't say, "Oh, Greg, please don't remove the Revolurise or the Revolurise." It says Revolurise. It doesn't say Raveloi. Man, I don't know why people call it Raveloi, because it's not Raveloi. But basically, this tank acts like a turreted tank destroyer, and that you could say, "Oh no, you don't know what you're talking about, it's a medium tank, blah blah blah." Yes, it has a medium tank hull and turret, but it has a tank destroyer gun. It has a gun that was taken from a tank destroyer. I think it was part of the AMX-AC series. I think it was probably from the AMX-AC 46 or 48. And it was slapped onto this, and the M4A1 Revolurise, I think it's Israeli, if I'm correct. That's probably a reason why it's being removed, because it's not really a French tank. It's a nationed tank that where the nation is not in the game yet. A thing that comes to mind is, will we see like the Merkava or the Merkava Mark 1 in the game? Probably not. But if it does enter the game, it's probably going to have, pretty good damage per minute. Health wise, I don't know, but I don't know. It's a lot of things are happening right now. A lot of changes are happening, but basically this tank, if it's put back in the stores, this thing is gonna be rubbish. I mean, it's already mediocre right now. I mean, you fire a clip and you're there for about 50 seconds to try and reload the clip, and within that 50 seconds you could be hunted down and killed. And to be honest, I would say get this tank. It's better. It's not as quick, but it reloads quicker. It can dish out its shots quicker. It's got the same pen. They're both the same pen. The only difference is that the 1390 has a 90mm gun, but it takes forever to reload. And it's like, so it's a light tank, an auto-loading light tank. And I know all these problems with people saying, oh no, light tank can't be overpowered, they can't be overpowered. And one light tank people despise so much, and it's this one. And I can see why, because this thing is a piece of shit. It really is. If you see this thing, you're fucking dead. In cough, it will rip you to pieces. It's just, why would you put this tank in the game and then buff it and then slightly nerf it? Because basically it's still slightly buffed, but it's like, I don't know. The DPM, this is what I don't understand. It's got a 76mm gun that fires every 2.5 seconds or something like that, or 3 seconds. It does about 180 damage, 160, 180 damage. That's insane. Okay. Second of all, this thing is quick. Really quick. It's so quick, in fact. Sometimes when you fire and your shell hits smack on, it's going so quick it doesn't even register. To be honest, in my opinion, because a lot of people hate this tank, in my opinion, this tank needs to be removed. It just either change it to a premium tank, or remove it completely. Like, remove it from everyone's accounts, because this thing is cancer. It is disgusting. It is an absolute abomination in this game. It's just, I mean, this thing can death circle tanks. Okay, death. Yeah, I know that's surprising for me to say. This thing can kill anything. If you use this thing correctly, it will slaughter everything. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, 5,000 DPM. People may say, "Oh, yeah, that makes it so overpowered." What they don't have to take into account is when you've expired your clip, you then have to sit there for about 50 seconds to reload. But in this thing, it takes about, what was it, like 30 odd seconds to reload. This thing can reload nearly twice as quickly, and it's, I don't know, it seems kind of better at what it does. I mean, even though it's a tier lower, it does a better thing than this. I mean, this thing, yeah, you expend your clip, that's it, you're dead. I mean, yeah, nearly a minute to reload your clip. This thing is painful to reload, okay? You sat there for practically a minute reloading this clip. It's like, this thing is like the Waffle Trigger E100 version in Tankery. This is your Waffle Trigger E100 in Tankery. Once you've expired your clip, you're finished. You are utterly finished, and it's a 4-second interclip reload. So what that means is that, yeah, you can out reload like a Leopard or T62 Alpha or an M4085 pattern. But what happens when you fire your last shot and you haven't killed that Leopard, T62 Alpha or M4085 pattern? What happens? You die. You will die to any tank that you are firing at because of the reload. And this is why auto reloaders are kind of, I don't know, kind of what's the word? Kind of falling behind. Like they're starting to phase out of existence. And I know that sounds weird for me to say, and you're probably going to be saying in the comments, oh, but we have the MX5100, it's a new autoloader. I know that, but what I think this game needs is a new type of tank, a new type of system. Like, Greg probably knows where I'm going with this. We got single shot guns, we've got autoloader guns. There's one other loading system we do not have in the game, and I think some of you World of Tanks players know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the auto reloader. The auto reloader, basically, if you have, say, the M4 FL10, that is, I believe, a 6-round autoloader, basically, right? If you fire 3 of those 6 rounds, over time, those 3 rounds will load back into the drum. Before any of you start to rip my head off and start calling me names and all of that, please don't do that. I'm just suggesting, maybe test add an auto reloader. Take a version of, say, the AMX50-100, give it a 120mm with only 3 rounds, 3 rounds, that's a big old 3, just 3 rounds, and see how the auto reloading system works. If it works fine, then yeah, keep the tank in the game. Make sure it's balanced, make sure it has a reload about 40 seconds if you fire all rounds. And basically this is how it works. If you fire 1 of the 3 rounds, it will take, if we look here, so if we get the calculator, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of maths here. So if we do 11 plus 12 plus 14, that's 37. So then what if we do 12 plus, no, stupid thing, 12 plus 13 plus 15 equals 14. So for the first round, if you fire 1 of 3 rounds, it will take 12 seconds to reload that shell back into the mag. But if you fire while that shell's reloaded back into the drum, then you have to reload the first shell and the second shell, and that will, you know, that will be a 25-second reload. But if you reload in the second shell and you fire the third shell, then that's a 40-second reload. But when you're reloading the third shell, you know, when you start reloading the entire drum back in, the third shell will be 15 seconds. The second shell will be 13 seconds. The first shell will be 12 seconds. And then when you've got all the shells loaded, if you fire just the first shell, it will take 12 seconds. Okay, but Greg, if you want to, you know, nerf it, the 50 seconds, so you do, I don't know, like 14 plus 15 plus 17 is 46, so do 15 plus 16 plus 18, it's 49. So for the first shell, 15 seconds, second shell, 16 seconds, third shell, 18 seconds. So you know, it's this thing, the first and second shell will be a second apart, okay, for reloading. The third shell will be 2 seconds. So for example, like I said, the first example, first shell to if you fire your entire magazine, the first shell to load will take 14 seconds or 15 seconds. The second shell will take 13 seconds. The third shell will take 12 seconds. So you know, it's this process. So I mean, it could be like that. It could be as simple as that. Just adding the first auto reloader as a 3 clipped AMX 5120. It could be as simple as that, or you could just add a AMX 5100 but with 4 rounds. So you do, like, if you want a 50-second reload, you do 12 plus 13 plus 14. There you go, guys. So it's like this. The first, if you fire your first shell and leave the other 3 shells in, it will take you 11 seconds to reload that shell. If you fire if you fire while that first shell is loading back into the magazine, the second shell will take 12 seconds. Then when that second shell is loaded, the first shell will take an additional 11 seconds. But if you fire while that second shell is loaded, the third shell will take 13 seconds, the second 12, the first 11. And then, you know, if you fire your entire magazine, it'll go 14 seconds, 13 seconds, 12, 11, that adds up to 50 seconds. I know that sounds a bit, you know, well, that sounds a bit long, you know, 50 seconds to reload just 4 shells with a 100mm SA-47. You gotta think here, but it's an auto reloader. So basically it means if you fire just 1 shell, it will take you 11 seconds to reload that back into the magazine. That, I don't know if that sounds overpowered. It probably doesn't. I mean, think about it. What, 300 damage? Yeah, 320. So if you do 320 times by 5.4, that's 1,728. Okay, firing every 11 seconds. That gives you DPM of 1,728. So the magazine potential is 1,280. The MX5100 we have now has a magazine potential of 2,560. That is exactly how Greg has, you know, kind of calculated it. When you first get the MX5100, it will have a DPM of 2,560. But this MX5100, that will be an auto reloader. I'm not saying that it will be added in, just speculation. So it does, like, say additional 360 damage times by 4. That will give it a damage output of the clip 1440. That will make it sort of balanced, but with the 11, 12, 13, 14, the first shell being 11 seconds, if you interrupt the first shell, it will take additional 12 seconds to load the second shell, and then an additional 11 seconds to load the first shell, and then you see where this is going. If you fire the entire clip, it will take you 50 seconds to reload, the entire shell. So if you fire the first and second shell, it will take you 23 seconds to reload those two shells. But then if you fire the third shell, it will be a 36-second reload, and then if you fire the fourth shell, that will give you a 50-second reload. It's kind of like this thing where I don't know why he's refusing to do auto reloaders. Probably because he doesn't really understand how to script auto reloaders yet. And if he doesn't really understand how to, that's perfectly fine. I'm not taking the mick out of him. I really am not. I don't want to do that at all. But what I'm saying is, if he does, because he can script an auto loader, why not script an auto reloader? And it might, be like 2 pages more scripting. But if he can achieve that and put it in the game, and then wait for like say 2 to 3 days, see how people react to this auto reloading system, then perfect, absolutely perfect. Make a developer server. Okay, first time to say you finish the scripting. Greg, just if you're watching this video, say you finish the scripting and you think, right, how do I test this tank? Go to a server, open up the developer server so that people can test this AMX 5100 auto reloader and see how people react to it. And if they react positively to it, if it doesn't affect the game negatively or whatever, then that's a good thing. But if it does have a negative impact on the game, then yeah, take out of the game, never discuss about auto reloads again. But if it works and if people are happy with it, and people are like, oh hey, look at this, Greg added an auto reloader. It's got a wonderful mechanic where if you fire 2 shells, it will take 23 seconds to reload those 2 shells back into the mag. If it works perfectly as intended, and people respond to you, send messages saying, Greg, you did a wonderful job here, why not think about adding a variant of another tank in, like say you take the T57 Heavy, put it in as an auto reloader. Of course, T57 Heavy will be incredibly overpowered because that takes, roughly 30 seconds to reload. But anyway, apart from that, I think just testing it out, just in Roblox Studios, just test the tank out, see how it performs, just see how it works. Okay, that's all. Just see how it performs. And if you feel a bit hesitant about it, that you feel a bit, oh well, should I or should I not, just open up a developer server, let people test it, see how they react to it, and if they react positively about it, take that feedback and just think about it. If you think it's a good idea, then maybe talk to your map makers and your admins, see what they think about it. Have a vote with your admins and your map makers as well. Of course, I don't really want to part in it because I'm a bit shy around that area, but all I'm saying is maybe just start to slowly creep towards this this section of tanks, of like auto reloaders. Just test it out, just give it a little bit of a polish, just take out the auto reloader booklet, have a look through, see what tanks you can convert into an auto reloader, and then put it onto the developer server, let people test it and see how they react. I think it'll be a wonderful idea. If I was in charge of this game, and I know I'll be an absolutely horrific, an absolutely horrific uh, 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 game command or whatever, I will be bad, because I don't even know how to script, and to be honest, I don't really like to talk about it because it makes me feel embarrassed. But yeah, basically, just think about it, Greg. Just think about it. I know I'm probably gonna get a huge amount of hate. If I do, then I'll shut up and I will just talk about something else. But if people accept the fact that I talk about this, then that's okay. That's perfectly okay. But maybe it's probably about time to, start to look into this area, because single shot tanks are starting to get a bit tasteless, to be honest. Auto loading tanks they're good, but when they need to start reloading, it's like, the AMX 5100 takes a minute to reload each clip. And maybe, just take my suggestion into account. Just think about it. Don't just immediately say, oh no, don't want it, throw it in the bin. Just think about it. Please think about it. Just, just give it a think over. And it would make my day if you think about it. Because I don't know. Probably Probably I'm just talking rubbish. Probably I'm. And if I am, then I'm sorry. But yeah, just please take that into account. Just think about it and just test it, really. And I hope to see all you lovely people later. And I hope that you see this video. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs down. Put in the comment section what you think auto reloaders would do to the game. I think it will be a beautiful, but also a interesting way to go, because I think that this game needs something to revive itself. Add in the first auto reloader. I think the AMX 5100 will be fantastic. Give it a 120mm gun with only 3 rounds, and if you want to go one step further, add 4. But 3, I think, is an absolutely fantastic idea. Just add it as an auto reloader. If you want to add it as a really long reload, then I'm just trying to work it out there. Then yeah, the first shell to load will be 18 seconds, the second shell will be 16 seconds, and the third shell will be 15 seconds. That will be a 49-second reload. I think that would be fantastic for the AMX 50 120 AR, means auto reloader. I think it'll be a fantastic idea, and I think that you should really look into it, and just think about it, really, because I think it'll be an absolutely excellent idea. So I will see you guys later. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. Support will be massive. It'll be absolutely massive, and it will definitely help me on the way. So thank you guys, and peace out.